Hey guys, it's Justin at the Survivor Review, and this weekend was San Diego Comic-Con, the big one, and they had a lot of announcements. They showed a lot of footage for Captain America, Thor, Walking Dead, all that stuff. But they had one big news announcement that is the most mind-blowing thing ever. And if you don't know about that yet, it's so crazy. So they announced the Man of Steel sequel, which is going to be coming out in 2015, and it's going to be co-starring Batman. It's going to be a Batman-Superman team-up crossover movie, which is going to lead into Justice League, which is mind-blowing. I'm so excited for this. I really hope they don't screw this up, because their plans are, they already announced, they said Superman, Batman in 2015. Then 2016 is The Flash. Then 2017 is Justice League. So they're building up, which is the brilliant thing. They're not rushing. They're not like, oh, we gotta make Justice League right away, which they were gonna do. That was supposed to come out in 2015, which was the stupidest idea ever, but luckily they got past that. And I'm just so happy they were finally building up to the Justice League movie. Doing it in a way where, we don't have enough time, because unless you want to wait 6 years or whatever, you're still waiting a decent amount of time, but if you want to wait too long, so they're building it up, they're not just going straight into it, and they're doing a Flash movie, which I think works because I feel like out of the Justice League characters, besides Batman and Superman, the most well-known ones are both Wonder Woman and the Flash, I feel, to the general public. So I think a Flash movie is a good idea. And I never thought about it this way, but that's the perfect way to reintroduce Batman. By doing a crossover with the Man of Steel Superman, with Henry Cavill as Superman. Which I think is smart, because there's no way, because that was their biggest problem. That was Warner Brothers' biggest issue. It's just like, how are we going to do Batman? Because we've already done Dark Knight Trilogy, it's separate, and that's in the public's mind. It's so new and fresh in the public's mind. It's such a big thing, and all of a sudden we're just gonna go, oh, we're rebooting 3 years later. It's so weird. And if they just threw Batman in the Justice League movie, just like, oh, introduce him then, or gave him a reboot next year, it wouldn't work. It would just be awkward and strange. But putting a new Batman in an established Superman movie works perfectly. So I think that's the perfect idea. And again, how I said they want to do this kind of quickly, and I understand that they want to do it quickly. I still think what they should have done if they had more time would have been to do Man of Steel 2 and then do Batman and Superman crossover. I think that should have been the third movie. But I understand they want to get moving on Justice League before this whole thing kind of might die down or something like that. I understand. Well, it's still a big thing. But they're saying how the movie, they haven't revealed any info on it yet, just besides the fact that Batman's going to be in it. They did announce that it's going to be inspired by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. Which, for those of you who don't know, it's not going to be adapted of that, so you don't have to quickly go out and read The Dark Knight Returns. But The Dark Knight Returns has some similarities to Dark Knight Rises, where it takes place years later in the future. Batman's been retired, and he comes back as Batman to fight crime. He's really old, and Superman has just become a pawn for the government. He's just working with the government, and Batman's been doing all this crazy stuff, and so Superman gets orders to stop Batman, and that results in the end of the story being this huge all-out battle between Batman and Superman, where Batman has this huge armored suit, and he fights using kryptonite. So by saying that they're inspired by Dark Knight Returns, it's pretty much telling that for most part of the movie they're probably going to be enemies. Batman and Superman are probably not going to be on a good side. Probably until at the end, where at the end they become friends or whatever. But that sounds really interesting, that Batman will be almost maybe a villain kind of character, because they're going to be at odds probably throughout the movie, and I think that's a really interesting way to put it. They don't just throw in Batman all of a sudden, hey, they're friends. I think that's cool, and I wonder if they're going to do anything with Lex Luthor, because he was hinted at throughout Man of Steel. So I wonder if they're gonna have something with Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor, maybe because they're both billionaires and stuff like that. That'd be really interesting. This is just crazy, such a cool thing. Something when they announced it, I went nuts. It's just saying, it's going to be directed by Zack Snyder again. Also written by David Goyer, who wrote Man of Steel. And I heard Christopher Nolan is going to be like an executive producer, not a full-on producer. Which I can see that, because I think that's kind of weird if Christopher Nolan like produced the movie. He's producing like the rebooted Batman, but I still like that he's involved. That they're not just like getting rid of him, but so I like it. They're not just completely going like, yeah, get out of here, Christopher Nolan. But they're not making him too much on the forefront. Like, oh, we got Christopher Nolan. But I like how he's involved, and I think that's a smart idea. I like how 2015, me and Sam talked about this in our Terminator video. 2015 is going to be an insane year for movies. With Star Wars Episode 7, Avengers 2, Avengers Age of Ultron. That's what they just announced at Comic-Con. That's the new title. New James Bond, Ant-Man, Independence Day 2. It's a ton of movies. It's a packed year. But you know what? As much as I'm excited for Avengers, I'm interested in Star Wars, I'm hyped for James Bond because I love Skyfall, I don't care because Batman Superman's coming out, and that's what I'm hyped for. That's the thing, no matter what. I'm going to be like following this movie so closely because I really want to see like who are they going to cast as Batman. That'd be really interesting how they're going to do Batman. That's what I'm really intrigued on because Batman's my favorite. So yeah, Man of Steel 2, going to be Batman Superman crossover, or World's Finest, whatever you want to call it. There's no official title yet, but it's been fully announced that's going to happen. That's the sequel. It is like for sure a Man of Steel sequel. It's going to have the original cast back for Man of Steel, which I liked. That's one thing that makes me excited for this. It's just that, not only because Batman's my favorite superhero, but as much as I will say that Man of Steel was a flawed movie. I really liked it, but the major thing I loved the universe it created. I loved like the cast, all like actors, especially Henry Cavill as Superman was amazing. I love the universe it created, so I want to return to that, and I want to see Batman in that. So it's just a really cool thing, and like I said, a smart choice for DC. They picked the smartest way to reintroduce Batman without making it just seem like forced and just really just strange, because that's the hardest thing to do because Dark Knight trilogy. So I applaud them for that. I like how they're moving forward with Justice League. I like how they're not rushing like right away just to do Justice League. They're building it up. They're taking some advice from Marvel. Not as elaborate as Marvel, but I understand. I'm okay with that. As long as they make them all good. I'm interested for Flash. I've never been a huge Flash fan, but that sounds cool, and just Justice League, if they can do it, if they can pull it off, it'll hopefully be good. So yeah, that's Man of Steel 2, Batman Superman crossover. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say because it's such a crazy thing. I like to hear other people's opinions on what they think is going to happen in there, or what they think should happen, or what they think on this whole idea. You guys think it's a good idea to do that? Do you think they should have waited and done Man of Steel 2 first? I'd like to find out. So that's all I got for you guys now, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.